Alright, we're going to do a bullet wound. I've used the same arm here. You need to work on bare skin to do these, so you would have to shave the region that you wanted to apply a lot of this material to. So using my forearm is obviously the way to go. I've done the basic outline of the bullet wound here, and what I did is I took some Mortician's wax and I kind of swirl it and build some product, and then I put it on using a swirling motion. I try to turn it around so I can simulate an entry point. See how I've swirled it around and I've created a puncture? Here I created a puncture that's a little uneven, though the angle of the bullet was moving this way. But here I've got, again, a little punctate area I can begin to work with for an entry point. I'm winging it a little bit, just kind of going to see what I can do for fun as kind of a challenge. Now the first thing we want to show is depth in the wound. We want to be a little careful with how far we go. We want to kind of really take it easy. Whoops! End camera. Well, we're having ourselves a party. Sorry about that, folks. I don't think it was so bad I have to begin again. There's our bullet wound. So I'm just going to paint a little bit of dark color. Remember, this is a fresh wound, but I want to give a little bit of depth and indicate the angle of velocity. So it came up maybe just sort of caught in the crossfire of a gang war. Just bullets ricocheting. So we're going to give a little bit of depth to it like that. And I've kept the edges fairly distressed. Then I think just as a base, we're just going to take a little bit of either this red or again the trauma wheel. And I'm going to take a little bit of redness just to kind of set a background tone here. Because this is all going to be covered. Then I'm just going to distress that. And then I want to take a little bit of abrasion blood again, put it on my finger as a palette. And then I'm going to create the blood effect from the wound itself. And I'm going to add an extra layer of the abrasion blood in the very center. This is a very punctate wound from a very small pistol like a Derringer. Most likely a Derringer, because larger bore are going to cause a lot of peripheral trauma, but exit wounds can be quite punctate, and that's what we're kind of asked for in this particular situation, is a punctate exit wound. There's not going to be a lot of blood generally dripping around it, but there will probably be splatter. We have to remember, is this an entry wound or an exit wound? So I'm kind of treating it like an exit wound. An entry wound would have compressed the flesh around the area and probably cause some extra bruising. I've spent a lot of time in pathology labs and watching dissections. I used to teach anatomy at one point in my career, and that's actually how I got more involved in makeup again. We were doing a lot of simulations. But there are people that are really masters at this kind of thing, but I wanted to show you how you would. So you see I'm just building it up so it's got a little bit of a gel, and then we could blend this down, being very careful. And there we have it. A bullet wound. We would blend the edges in here, and you can see that's a small punctate exit wound. Very, very simple. We'll look at abrasions in a moment.